Hello, welcome to this installment of Getting to Know Jersey Sound Chorus. Tonight we have one of our registered quartets next in line. We have Vanessa, the bass. We have Dina, the baritone. Suzanne is the lead, and Rose is the tenor. Rose is actually what we call a bisectional because she sings some baritone in the chorus and she sings tenor in the quartet. For us, our registered quartets are our rock stars. We love them, and we know that you will love them too. So let's just get started, girls. Um, One question I have for you all, because you just seemed like such a tight group and
Oh,
such a unit. Did any of you know each other before you joined the chorus?
Well, Dina and I, Dina who's, in that frame next to me, Dina and I many years down the hall from each other. And for a few years, we were the 7th grade team teachers for both having 7th grade homerooms. And Dina actually got me into Jersey Sound. I was a music teacher early on in my life, and then I spent 24 years teaching science. So during the science time, we took 8th graders on a week-long trip in December, and Dina often went as one of the adult chaperones. Thank you. And she'd always say, "Oh, I can't wait till we have our Jersey Sound Jingle Bell concert on Saturday. You should come. You should really join." And then we both talked it over, and we both decided to join in the same year.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Well, I have a story to add to that. It took a few years to figure out, but Rose and I met in a previous life, Maggie. When I gave birth to my first son, Rose was one of my nurses.
Oh, no. And
so, go ahead.
How did you discover,
Well, we started talking. I knew she was an OBGYN nurse, and we started talking, and I talked about where I gave birth to my son, and she said I used to work there. So I started asking her dates, and then I started putting it together and asking her, "Oh, did you wear a ponytail? And did you wear this?" And I figured out Rose was my special nurse there.
That's amazing.
So
we
amazing.
knew each other, but we didn't know each other.
Wow, small world, isn't it? It's just amazing to me how many people come into the chorus and then find people they've known before. But that's the story I had never heard before, so that's pretty cool. Well, I'm curious about your quartet journey from the beginning. So how did you, the four of you once in Jersey Sound, how did the formation of the quartet come about?
Well, actually, our quartet began our journey began in 2015, and I was not the tenor back then. We had our original tenor. I was the original baritone. Our original tenor had some medical issues, and she got really sick. So we recruited Miss Dina, and we are just so blessed to have her as our baritone now. And I jumped into the tenor because I didn't know what I was getting into. So,
So before, when you were, it was Miranda who was your original baritone. And was that quartet also, that was not also next in line? Did you have another name for the quartet?
It was.
It was next in line, okay. How did that form with that foursome? How did the three of you come together with Miranda?
Well, I can tell you that. I think Miranda really wanted to be in a quartet.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of difficulties in her life, medical and otherwise. And so I think Rose and I went along with it to help her, and we figured, why not? We should give this a try. We saw how much fun the Jersey girls were having. So Vanessa came on board with us, and we formed a quartet and started working out. And then as Miranda grew weaker and weaker and realized she had to drop out, we brought Dina in. And so we stayed together.
That's
That was
awesome.
2016, so that was the year after we originally formed.
That's awesome. And was your intent, I guess I'm going off the script here. Your
Go off
intent
the
It's
script.
okay.
your intent was to just the enjoyment of singing, right? Although
Yes.
you did end up competing, but that was never the intent, right? The intent was just the singing to
Well,
I think
No.
some of us have different goals on it,
oh,
but
okay.
Well, a couple of us resisted joining contests, but I think I speak for myself. We had a really good experience. See my eyes. We had a really good experience being in regional competition 2 years in a row. It
Well,
has really helped us grow.
I must say, when I first joined the chorus and I would watch quartets perform, I remember thinking, oh my God, I could never do that. And really, that's how I really felt about it. Like, it just seemed like too scary, and who could do that?
right.
And when Vanessa and I would have lunch together, she would talk about like the issues Miranda was having and how it was getting harder for her to like meet and sing. And I remember saying to her, and I didn't even know how we would work it out because Rose was a baritone like me. I said, well, if we could figure out a way to work it out, I might give it a go. So having personal goals and stepping, I'm always telling my students to step outside your comfort zone. And that was a big step out for me. When we competed, that was the most scary thing I think I've ever done in my life. And it was, but you know, we got through it. Yay.
And you survived it. Yeah.
We survived it. Yes.
and nothing is scary anymore. Now, if anybody wants us to sing, we're like, okay, because shoot, once you've done contests,
You've done the
what can be
scariest
scarier
thing.
than that?
I'm just gonna share my screen here because I want to show everybody a few pictures that I've pulled up over the years. So let me I'll do this. Can you see?
Oh, I remember that
So
feeling.
this was what we in the chorus like to call the va-va-voom dresses. And I think this was your first year, your first
Yeah.
Yes.
contest
Yep.
year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what I
And
Those
like
crazy
about
shoes.
this picture is we were all like putting on a brave face, but I can see the nervousness in everyone.
Me
Yeah.
too.
This was in the waiting room, I guess, before.
In photography because they were backed up.
Okay. I
Mhm.
remember that night. Do you feel like that backup made you more nervous, or did you enjoy just the time together to no? Just
I think I
It
like
was
the
terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was trying to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, but
Oh, yeah.
well, you know.
yeah, yeah. This is the
But
official. This is the official quartet photo.
yes, this is the one I go, who is that? Oh, that's me. Okay.
There's
Who is
less
that woman?
va-va-voom in this
That's
picture.
gorgeous.
Boom.
It's beautiful.
because you don't see Rose's leg in this one.
No.
These next two were ones I took at rehearsal. So for those who are watching, we just have the ultimate pleasure of getting our quartets up in front of us at rehearsal, especially during contest season. But you know, just to enjoy when you learn a new song. And what I love about this picture and this next one is just the
What is it?
performance,
Yeah.
the level of performance in the song. It's just amazing to me. This next one is just a picture from when we sing out at Smithville in the winter time. And that's always
Suzanne,
fun.
you are lit up, man. She's got the best face in that one. I
She
think.
does.
I look like I'm lost somewhere, lost
Yeah.
in space. Oh well.
So one of the things I think we do love about you is the fun you have with your performances, and also the way you put little twists in the words. So I guess my question is, when you recreate a song like that and change the words up and make it funny, is one of you the creative genius, or is there input from everybody? How does that come about?
Suzanne,
Suzanne?
she starts it, and then we
Suzanne
agree.
starts it and then we play.
So you're the one who comes up with it. Do you look at a song with the intention of redoing it, or is it just it pops into your mind as you're
Well, I think some of the songs are so old with older lyrics that don't really fit current society, so that you sometimes are forced to make a
See?
change. They, they are anachronisms, let's put it that way.
Yeah, okay. So you started, and then as you work, other things come about. That's pretty cool. So aside from the chorus, tell me a little bit about yourselves and what you do in real life. I know we have two teachers.
Yep.
Yay.
Yes, I'm learning how to be an online teacher, and I think I'm working harder than it's you don't get the same kind of feedback. There's a lot of planning and a lot of posting things and then a lot of question answering. But the kids are still the best part, and I'm happy that we have these live office hours because kids drop in just to talk for a few minutes and then they drop back out again. So yeah, I like to garden a lot. I like to read. Yeah. I like sing Jersey Sound and Next in Line take up a lot of my free time. And then I also sing with my church choir, although we haven't been doing that much lately.
Yeah.
Next in Line.
Yeah, I prided myself in singing four nights a week. Monday night with my quartet, Tuesday night with a mixed chorale, Wednesday night, of course, with Jersey Sound, and then Thursday night with my little church choir. And now, of course, with this virus, that's all been wiped out. But you know, we still check on each other, all those four groups that I belong to, and then the other thing is that I have been happily married. Of course, you all know my sweet hubby. 46 years, 26 of those. I was also married, or I still am married to this barber shopper, because that's how long Richard has been with Pine Barrens, 20 years.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for you, barbershop harmony is just a way of life for both of you.
Oh yeah, just singing. I've just loved it since I was a little girl. You know, joining choirs and in high school and college, and I just. But I never thought that I would ever be a Sweet Adeline. And Richard just he's been bugging me for years, ever since he joined Pine Barrens, to join Sweet Adelines. And I said, I'm already in, a couple of singing groups. But then the church choir that I was in folded. So he said, "There you go. You've got you've got a free night." So I said,
Just one night a week.
Yeah. I said, I don't know anybody in that Jersey Sound. He says, "Well, you'll make friends." And I am so glad this is my 11th year, and one of the best things that have happened to me in my life is joining Jersey Sound. Truly.
And how about you, Suzanne?
I am the president and owner of Pinelands Nursery, which is a native plant nursery, and we provide trees, shrubs, wildflowers, grasses, wildflower seed to restoration projects that occur all throughout the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states. So my husband and I started this business 35 years ago, and he recently retired, so I've taken over the business, and I will eventually retire and pass it on to my sons.
Awesome.
Nice.
And Vanessa is our other teacher.
So I started out long time ago as a music teacher. I was a violin viola major at Trenton State, back when it was Trenton State. And I taught music for a few years until they cut the program. So then I landed in science, which was always my other half. Lived in science for 24 years and just had an opportunity to start teaching music again last year. So I'm so excited because when I was in science, I was involved in lots of other science activities, and I taught, and mentored grad students, and, just immersed myself in that. So once I joined Sweet Adelines, the pull of doing music again was so strong. It was really hard to balance all the music things with all my science things as well. So I'm so happy that I'm all in music now. But I also get to teach gifted and talented, so I can put some science in there. So
that's very cool. To me, music and science are such polar opposites, but really, I guess in some ways they're
really not. When I was in college, the entire cello section for my community orchestra up in Trenton, they were all doctors from Princeton.
Oh, wow.
All 4 cellists. Yeah.
Maybe you need that creative to balance out the ultra technical of science. I don't know. I'm not good at science at all myself. So my last question would be, just give me one word. Each of you give me one word to describe one or more of the others. Just how would you describe each other in one word?
I'll start. Rose is a saint. That's the best word for Rose. Saint Rosa.
Well,
Okay.
I would have said Rose is kind-hearted, but saintly is really a better description.
She's the closest to a saint of all of us, and very generous. Rose is very generous with her time, and yeah, that's what and she's always, here's the only little caveat with Rose is when we finish singing, she has to play the pitch so we know how much we stunk on that song. But she keeps us honest. She keeps us very honest.
Yes, she does.
So that's good. Yes. Thank you, Rose. I love you.
How about you, Rose? How about you, Rose? Who do you have one word for anyone?
Well, it's not just one word, but I would describe Ness as dedicated and intense. She really just immerses herself in what she does, and that inspires me, Ness. It does.
Oh, thank you. I think it might be scary sometimes to people.
Yes, you are our theorist, our music theorist. It's like when you talk about the do and the re, I know what those are, but that's not the way I think about music. But I'm so glad someone in our quartet knows all that stuff. So yeah, you're our theorist. If we have a question about that kind of thing, am I on the fifth and all that kind of stuff? I know that Vanessa will know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Since Vanessa is my section leader and my listener, I can verify that she is indeed intense and that it is both intimidating and it pushes me to be so much better. So
I don't try to be scary.
no, that's okay.
There's a fine line between intense and scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll let you know. Don't worry.
She's not really scary, but
No.
she does inspire me to know my stuff. So that's a good thing. So that is it, girls. Thank you so much for coming on and letting me.
But don't we get to say the words for Suzanne? I want to know what you guys think about me.
Yeah,
Suzanne
and Dina. We need
the quartet.
If you have others, go ahead. Yeah, go right ahead.
Suzanne is the most diplomatic person I've ever known.
Very true.
Okay.
She can take something stinky and say, well, but it's not annoying. She's like, oh yeah, you're right, Suzanne. Suzanne's almost always right too, but in a very nice way.
You just have to find the right words. And Dina has a great sense of humor. She's always laughing at silly things she's done herself. She laughs at herself. She laughs at everyone else. So she brings a lot of humor to our quartet.
I call Suzanne the voice of reason. She keeps us grounded.
I agree. The voice of reason.
Let's get back to business. Yeah, she is a true leader.
Oh, absolutely.
And also exuberant all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, always
I
teaching
don't
us
feel
up.
this way about myself, so thank you.
Do you all feel like the words that other people described you as fits you? Do you see yourself as those things?
I want to hear I want to hear from Vanessa and Rosa. So I didn't get the full
Okay.
picture yet.
All right,
They
let's
could be
hear.
really bad words.
Let's hear about Dina.
I call Dina daring because she
Aw.
she never she doesn't mince words. She tells it like it is. She just is.
That means I'm the one that curses.
You're direct Dina.
Direct is good. And I think Dina keeps us grounded as well, because yeah, when we're worried about different things, she's like, okay, let's just back up and just do this and we'll be fine, you know. So
That's nice. Thank you for your kind words. That's
Anyone
sweet.
else? Did I miss anybody's?
I think we got all.
I think
Got
we're
it
good.
all. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, thanks so much for coming on with me. And it's just so nice to this situation with the virus and all of that kind of gave birth to this idea of doing these little interviews because oftentimes one of the things we often say is that we spend so much time together, but we don't always spend it getting to know each other because we're so busy
Oh,
doing what we do.
Mhm.
So it was just so nice to visit with you and get to
Yeah.
know a little bit about each of you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.
I think it's a
So-
great idea.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I hope it'll help us all to get to know each other. And then for everybody who supports us and comes to see us and all of that, I think it will be interesting for them to know who always, who makes up the group that is Jersey Sound. So great. Thanks so much. Our next episode, I believe we will have a mother-daughter duo to talk about.
Ooh,
So.
I know who that is. That's great. Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.